Mutalisk retention. Losing a muta here and there throughout the entire game, it's bad. It's not a bad trade, a tank for a muta, but it's not a great trade either. You're offsetting it a lot when you lose that Mutalisk.
Of course, his economy is slightly better right now, so let's just give a Ret.
Okay, so a couple more mutas are going to pop into. They're going to knock out this turret, and this is going to be a little tough for ThorZain. Stim is done, so these Marines are going to run down. Not going to pick off another muta, and he's going to immediately rebuild that turret. So nicely repelled there. But this is what Ret does so well. He just gets so much control with these mutas.
But he did lose one muta though against the missile turret, so I don't think that was all that great.
Oh, did the muta fall? I felt like it got out of there.
No. One muta definitely fell.
Okay. Baneling speed also finishing up here for Ret. He's got, is that 68 drones? Did I read that correctly? So his economy is looking very good. 3 fully saturated bases. He'll be taking a 4th here soon. Yeah, 4th base just now starting. And we're entering the phase of the game right now where the Terran army is starting to get a little bit scary. So Ret needs to start pulling up a little bit of gas for the Banelings. Oh, I love this. Picking off a tech lab before, nope, he's going to dart out of there before that tech lab actually falls.
I do agree with you, but it seems like Ret's doing a decent job. I mean, he already lost 2 mutas in the process, though. And normally I see Zergs doing a little bit better with their mutas right now. It seems like ThorZain is actually doing an excellent job, but so far fending off Ret's harassment.
Wow, 13 drones spawning for Ret right now. That's going to put him up at 75. That's a great number for him. Yeah, you're right, but look at what the mutas they're achieving. It's complete map dominance. ThorZain can't take that 3rd base. Ret's got a bunch of lings there to deny it when he tries to do so. So I mean, Ret's just controlling the map. He knows everything that happens. ThorZain does have that first Thor out now, though, so that's going to make it a little bit harder for those mutas to be really active. And once again, they're going to poke down into the main base. He'll pick off a missile turret in like 2 shots, 1, 2, and now he's going to go to work on that SCV line. But nope, Marines are there. So ThorZain doing such a good job of having units where he needs to have units, and just making sure that Ret doesn't ravage any mineral lines.
I think this is actually an excellent job at ThorZain, because if you take a look at his map vision, he knows nothing. And if I know, I guess a lot of people at home will realize as well, if you don't have any map vision against mutas, it's so hard to have your units in the right position. So far, ThorZain has been an excellent job. It looks so much easier than it is, but actually mad props to ThorZain for having his missile turrets in a good spot, having the Marines always nearby. Really props to that.
A lot of units up here at ThorZain's 3rd base, and Ret looks like he wants to put a lot of pressure on here. He's going to just focus down the command center, and it is almost certainly going to fall. There's not enough Marines there. SCV's trying to repair, but they're all getting just wrecked by the Zerglings, and that's the first really big swing in the flow of this game here. Ret knocking out that 3rd base. That is just excellent for him. Now ThorZain is in a position where he really needs to find an opportunity to do damage.
So right away, ThorZain decides to load up a couple of Marines. He's going to float them over to the south side of the map. Perhaps it's going to try to go for a drop at the 3rd base. Ooh, Ret's with a big group of mutas though, but it seems like he's suggesting, like he's feeling something, like he's sensing something. Probably knows that perhaps this is the phase of the moment, the phase of the game where ThorZain would potentially go for a drop. But this matter of fact actually is so far in the corner. Ret did not decide to even go there right now. A lot of mutas entering the main base of ThorZain.
Oh, yeah, these mutas doing a nice job. He's going to lose a couple here, but he's picking off a bunch of Marines. He's going to get all these turrets, and now every turret has fallen. ThorZain brings up a few more Marines. Ret will get a few shots off, getting quite a few SCV kills, and man, Ret, his position is just looking so good. He's exploding ahead of ThorZain, 40 supply lead. Oh, no, ThorZain, what are your SCVs doing? How did that happen? Oh, my gosh, 24 worker kills for the Zerg player. 91 drones out for Ret to the... Oh, my, more. There's just so many mutas. The Marines can't keep up.
Exactly, so much air domination right now for Ret. So, one missile turret does get up again though, but gets taken out straight away once again by this big group of mutas. Even though slowly but steady the group is getting smaller, but the damage has been done already. These mutas have been doing an excellent job. This matter of fact was really inactive for a long time. I think that's actually a minor blunder by ThorZain. He could have done something with that at least. Certainly if we take a look at this base, is relatively unprotected. We have of course 1 spine cron and a couple of links, but that should be no problem for 8 Marines, and certainly when Stim is activated as well.
Look at this, Ret once again setting up a counter so he can deny that 3rd base should it ever try to go up again. ThorZain trying to secure his base. There's the drop in the 4th of Ret. We can see on the minimap the mutas are coming down to deal with that. The drones have been pulled. Ret should clean this up fairly easily. ThorZain doing a little bit of damage here, but it's not gonna be enough. What I really think is defining this game is the fact that ThorZain has never really gotten aggressive. He started off great with the Reaper, and then tried to follow that up with Hellions, but after that he just never left his base for the rest of the game. And granted, it's hard when there's this many mutas out on the map, but at some point you've got to take a stand and you've got to go. And now he's at 114 supply to almost the max Zerg army. It's going to be harder for him to push out now than ever before.
Yeah, Great Spire is going up as well. Adrenaline glands being researched for the Zerglings. This is going to be so hard to deal with, even though we are going to have a planetary fortress here. A lot of Zerglings running in right now. And look at the group of mutas. That's almost ridiculous. We do have tanks and siege tanks over here. Ret is really going for it.
Oh man, great magic box over the top of that Thor. And like you said, there's just so many mutas that no matter what ThorZain throws at it, it's just not going to be enough. ThorZain's stemming up some Marines. I feel like Ret could probably just turn around and kill that, but no, he is going to back away once again, content to just limit the siege tank numbers. Look at this. Blue Flame Hellions being caught out of position by Zerglings. Ret is all over the map. ThorZain is an amazing player, Rotterdam, and Ret is making this look like just domination.
Exactly, he's just controlling the game pretty much from start to finish. Of course, that Reaper with 4 kills, that wasn't calculated, but ever since that, it seemed like Ret just knew exactly how this game would turn out. I do 100% agree with you. It just seemed like ThorZain wasn't aggressive enough. I mean, he had Blue Flame, but other than the original push, which he tried to do something with the medevac, he hasn't really been using it. Meanwhile, these mutas take a little bit of damage from a couple of Marines, but nothing funky.
Lings in the front. All the siege tanks are going to fall, and now all that remains are a few Marines. Well, that's more than a few. So quite a few Marines. The muta's taking a lot of damage before they, I guess, retreat there. But Ret's position is looking so strong, and the really scary thing now is the tanks are all dead. Is that 8 Broodlings morphing? Or
6, I think.
Broodlings, Broodlords.
Broodlings wouldn't be too bad, but 6 Broodlords is a whole different story, of course. Ret still maxed out 200 supply, so even if he would lose a couple of mutas here and there, I guess it's not the end of the world anymore. We can see him producing a lot of Zerglings right now. These Zerglings going to be
overlords doing? They're just out in the middle of the map, just hanging out. Sup, son? So you know what, Ret's he's controlling this map so well. He's got creep everywhere. The Broodlords are out. He's morphing a lot of Banelings, 22 Banelings on the way. And the real critical thing here is that the siege tank numbers of ThorZain are virtually non-existent. He has 3 tanks out on the map. The Broodlords will make short work of that. And with no tanks on the map, these Banelings are going to be so deathly effective.
Perhaps once again, these mutas going to try. We have a lot of Marines there. Actually, would stim below it. A little bit unlucky for ThorZain right there. Imagine if Red would engage via here. Actually, ThorZain could have got off a great stim, but that's not going to happen right now. Slowly but steady, these Broodlords move forward. We did see a scan on ThorZain's side. I don't think he will be very pleased with what he sees, though.
No, this is actually a real big bummer for ThorZain. These Broodlords are just going to lean on ThorZain. Lots of mutas, lots of Zerglings, lots of Banelings, and ThorZain's backed into the corner. Here comes the Banelings. ThorZain's got nowhere to go. Huge Baneling explosion all over the Marines. The Thor is going to fall as well. Broodlords are going to clean up the rest, and Ret absolutely dominating game number 1. The Dutch Zerg goes up 1-0, and ThorZain is, man, it's looking like he might be taking a trip down to the losers bracket here shortly.
That was such a dominating game from Ret. I mean,
absolutely.
I really didn't expect. I would even say it was relatively one-sided. I mean, the start was excellent for ThorZain, killing 4 drones with 1 Reaper. That's so good. And then he went for the Hellion drop, which didn't really do a lot of damage. I'm so surprised, by the way, how Ret continuously managed to defend these kind of drops and pushes. Where you think like, oh man, Red's gonna lose so many drones, and it's like, no, actually he just lost 3 Zergs.
It's kind of crazy because, I mean, Blue Flame Hellions, there's this mindset amongst Zerg players that you have to defend Blue Flame Hellions with roaches. Yeah. And Ret doesn't even make a roach for it. He says, cool, I'll make a couple queens, a couple spines, and like 8 Zerglings, and I'll be safe against everything. And he somehow makes it work, and I'm really not sure how. I think, you know, in that kind of a situation, ThorZain could have committed to a lot more Hellions and actually effectively done some damage, but it's impossible for him to know that he needs to do that because Ret doing such a good job of controlling the map, denying vision, and just keeping everything just